All right, ready to dive into making money online, specifically freelancing. We've got a YouTube video here all about free ways to make some cash. Plus, we'll take a look at what's going on sites like Fiverr, Freelancer, Upwork, and even user testing.
Yeah, it's interesting. This YouTube video.a, it kind of jumps right into warning about those get-rich-quick schemes.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
Right, and especially for beginners, getting started, it can be really tempting to fall for that stuff, like those cash gifting programs they talk about.
Where you recruit people and then everybody gets paid.
Exactly. It sounds way too good to be true. And, often they even try to hide behind a fancier name.
Like multi-level marketing.
Right. Make it sound a little bit more legit. But this video is all about being realistic. It emphasizes that real sustainable income that takes effort and strategy. It's not about getting rich overnight.
No, it's more about matching your skills to the right opportunities.
Yeah.
And then building a solid reputation.
It's more like a slow burn, right? Like building a garden rather than winning the lottery.
Definitely. And speaking of skills, the variety of freelance work that's out there, it's really kind of mind-blowing. Just looking at these platforms, Fiverr, Freelancer, Upwork, you've got everything.
Oh, yeah.
Logo design, video editing, writing. Those creative fields seem to be super popular. But then there's also technical stuff like web development, data science.
Yeah, I've even seen things like custom pet portraits.
It's incredible what people are offering. So it really makes you think, what are your strengths?
Yeah, what are your interests? What unique things do you bring to the table?
Because it's so easy to get caught up in what everyone else is doing. But you really have to find that thing that's specific to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's where platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, and Freelancer are really useful. You can see what's out there and what it takes to stand out.
Exactly. And you can even look at the profiles of successful freelancers in those fields. Like, take Fiverr, for example. They have that whole gig economy thing where you package your services.
Starting at just $5?
Right. And it's a really great way to attract clients, build a portfolio, and start making some money pretty quickly.
Now, the YouTube video also talked about those free ways to make money online, like paid surveys, microtasks. They mentioned a site, Prime Opinion, that offers up to $5 per survey.
Right. And those kinds of things can be a good way to make a little extra cash. But it's important to keep in mind, it's not going to replace a full-time income.
It's more like a side hustle.
Yeah.
So we've got this huge landscape of possibilities, but where do you even begin?
Well, the video recommends, start with yourself. Really think about, what are you good at? What do you enjoy doing?
It's about more than just making money, right? It's got to be something you actually like.
Absolutely. It's about finding work that you find fulfilling, something that you're passionate about so it doesn't feel like a chore.
And passion really does lead to consistency. And consistency is key when you're building a freelance career right now.
For sure. Once you've figured out those strengths, those interests, then it's time to hit those platforms, do some research.
Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer. It's not just about finding work, it's about gathering information.
Yeah. See what kind of projects people are looking for. See what those successful freelancers in your niche are doing.
It's almost like market research, but for your own freelance business. And one platform that really caught my eye was user testing.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that.
It's a bit of a unique one. You basically get paid to give feedback on websites and apps.
Interesting. So you're kind of monetizing those everyday online interactions.
Exactly. And apparently companies are really hungry for that kind of data. They want to know how real people experience their websites and apps.
They need that real world feedback.
And they're willing to pay for it.
So you're not just earning money, you're actually helping to shape those digital products.
Right. Makes you feel like your opinion really matters.
It does. And it shows that there are so many different ways to approach this whole freelancing thing. It's not just one size fits all.
Okay, so we've talked about the reality versus the hype of making money online. We've seen this huge range of freelance opportunities. And we've even started thinking about our own skills and interests. But how do we actually translate all of this into action? Like, what are the concrete steps?
That's the next piece of the puzzle. And that's exactly what we'll be diving into in the next part of our deep dive. We'll go from exploring opportunities to actually building your freelance career.
Sounds like a plan. But for now, take a moment to really think about what stood out to you. What possibilities are you most excited about? What skills are you ready to put out there?
Yeah, what resonated with you?
Because this is just the beginning of your freelance journey.
The possibilities are endless. Welcome back. Now let's shift gears a bit. From exploring all those possibilities to actually building your freelance career. We're talking about taking those skills, those interests, and turning them into a real online presence.
Okay, so we've got our strengths identified. We're ready to dive into these platforms. But there's so many freelancers out there. How do you stand out from the crowd? The YouTube video touched on creating a compelling profile, but what does that actually mean?
Right. It's about showcasing what makes you unique, your value. It's almost like imagine walking into a room full of potential clients. What's going to make you memorable? What sets you apart?
So it's more than just listing your skills. It's about your personality, your experience. It's like an elevator pitch, but for your freelance services.
Exactly. Your profile is your digital storefront. It needs to grab attention, build trust, and clearly lay out what you offer.
And when you look at the websites for these popular platforms like Upwork and Fiverr, they actually have a lot of features built in to help you do that. Upwork, for example, really emphasizes your work history, your skills, almost like a traditional resume.
Yeah. Upwork is geared more towards that professional, project-based approach. Clients are looking for longer-term collaborations, specialized expertise. So yeah, highlighting your past work experience, any certifications, your education, it's all really important.
But then you have Fiverr, which seems much more visual. It's all about those quick gigs.
Right. Fiverr is all about those bite-sized services, perfect for things like, creative skills, quick turnaround tasks. They're designed for you to create eye-catching gig packages with clear pricing, deliverables. It's like a marketplace where you're selling your skills like products on a shelf.
So it's about tailoring your approach based on the platform, the type of work you want to do.
Yeah.
But one thing they both seem to stress is client feedback, reviews.
Absolutely. Reviews are like social proof. They show potential clients that you're reliable, that you know what you're doing. Building a solid reputation through positive reviews is key.
It's like, when you're choosing a restaurant. You're more likely to trust a place with hundreds of good reviews than one with only a few, or none at all.
Exactly. And both Upwork and Fiverr make it super easy for clients to rate and review freelancers. So doing high quality work, exceeding expectations, that's how you build that positive feedback.
Now, going back to that YouTube video, they were really careful to warn against those get-rich-quick schemes. They said to have realistic expectations, especially when you're first starting out.
Yeah. Remember, building a sustainable freelance career takes time and effort. It's about gradually building your reputation, attracting clients, and figuring out your pricing strategy. Like you wouldn't expect to plant a seed today and have a whole bushel of fruit tomorrow, right?
No. It's about nurturing those relationships, honing your skills, and watching your income grow organically over time.
Exactly. And speaking of pricing, that can be one of the trickiest parts for new freelancers. Like, how do you know what to charge?
That's a good question. It can be really intimidating.
There are a few different approaches, and it really depends on the type of work and your experience level. Hourly rates are common for ongoing projects, tasks where the time commitment can vary, but you can also offer package deals or project-based pricing, especially on platforms like Fiverr.
So it's about finding a pricing model that works for both you and your clients.
Right. It's about finding that balance.
But how do you avoid underselling yourself, especially when you're just starting out and you're so eager to get those first few gigs?
It's tempting to price yourself low just to attract clients, but that can really backfire in the long run. Do some research. See what other freelancers in your niche are charging. And consider your own experience level. Remember, your time, your skills, they're valuable. Don't be afraid to ask for fair compensation.
And as you gain more experience, build that reputation, you can adjust your rates accordingly. It's about finding that sweet spot where you're providing value to your clients, while also making sure you're earning a sustainable income for yourself.
Exactly. It's a bit of a balancing act, but with some careful thought, a little bit of research, you can definitely come up with a pricing strategy that works.
Now, one thing that YouTube video didn't really go into is the day-to-day reality of freelancing. Managing your time, staying organized, avoiding burnout.
Yeah.
It's a whole other challenge.
Oh, absolutely. Those are all crucial aspects of being successful as a freelancer, especially time management. You're your own boss. You've got to be on top of it. So think about using tools like calendars, to-do lists, maybe even project management apps to stay organized and keep track of everything. And just as important, setting boundaries between work time and personal time. That's essential for a healthy work-life balance.
Yeah, it's easy to fall into that trap of always being on when you're working from home. But you have to set those boundaries and stick to them.
Right. Freelancing offers a ton of freedom and flexibility, but it also requires a lot of discipline, self-motivation. You have to be proactive about managing your time, setting realistic goals, and just creating an environment that helps you be productive and prevents burnout.
So we've talked about crafting a compelling profile, figuring out pricing, and even managing your time effectively. But what about that first hurdle? Landing those first few clients.
Yes, that's where the real adventure begins. And that's what we're going to be tackling in the final part of our deep dive. We'll be exploring proven strategies for finding clients, building your portfolio, and really making those freelance dreams a reality.
It sounds like we're about to unlock the secrets to a thriving freelance career. But for now, just take a moment and think about what really stood out to you in this discussion. What sparked your interest? What are you eager to try out in your own freelance journey? All right, so we've laid the groundwork, we've got our skills, our profiles are looking good, time to attract those first clients, but how do we actually make that happen?
Well, that is the question, isn't it? The good news is there are so many different strategies out there. A lot of it comes down to being proactive and really understanding your target market.
So it's not just about sitting back and waiting for clients to come knocking.
Definitely not. You got to put yourself out there. Actively seek those opportunities. One thing you can do is tap into your existing network. Friends, family, former colleagues. Let them know about your services, what you're offering.
It's all about who you know, right?
Sometimes, yeah. But of course, what if your network is a little limited, or you're trying to reach a whole new audience?
That's the point.
Well, that's where those online platforms, they really shine. Upwork and Fiverr, they have those job boards built right in. Clients post projects.
All right.
And you can find, those perfect matches. Think of it like a digital matchmaking service.
I like that.
Connecting freelancers with their ideal clients. So spend some time browsing those listings, see what kind of projects align with your goals. And when you find something that's a good fit, you craft a really compelling proposal that shows your value.
So it's not just about what you can do, it's about how you can solve the client's problem, right?
Exactly. You really want to stand out from those other applicants. So research the client, understand their goals for the project, and then tailor your proposal to show how your specific skills, your experience can help them get there.
Now, the YouTube video, they briefly mentioned something called cold pitching. But they didn't really explain it. Is that a good strategy for finding clients?
It can be, but it definitely requires a more strategic approach. Cold pitching is basically reaching out directly to potential clients, even if they haven't posted a job listing.
Oh, okay. So you're kind of going directly to the source.
Right, exactly. So this could be like sending personalized emails, connecting on LinkedIn, even reaching out through social media.
So being a little bit more proactive, going beyond those traditional job boards. But how do you make sure your cold pitches don't just end up in the spam folder?
That's a good question. It's all about personalization and showing value. Do your research on the company or the individual, find a need, a problem that they have, and then when you reach out, explain how your services can help them solve it.
So it's not just, hey, hire me. It's more like, hey, I understand your challenges and I can help.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of a strong online presence. A professional website or a portfolio that showcases your work. That can be a huge asset.
Like your digital resume, right?
Yeah.
Highlighting your skills, experience, past successes.
Exactly. Think of it as a 247 storefront for your services.
But creating a website, that can be a little intimidating, especially if you're not a tech person.
Yeah, but there's so many user-friendly website builders out there now. You don't need to know any coding. Platforms like Wix, Squarespace, WordPress, they have templates, drag and drop features. It's really easy.
So you don't have to be a web developer to have a really professional online presence. But what if you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of past work to show?
That's a common challenge for new freelancers. One way to get around it is to create some sample projects or, offer your services at a discounted rate to build up your portfolio.
It's like they say, you got to spend money to make money. But in this case, it's more like investing your time and skills to build that foundation.
Exactly. And remember, your portfolio doesn't need to be perfect right away. It's about showcasing your potential, showing that you're dedicated to delivering great work.
And as you get more experience, you can keep updating it, keep refining it.
Right. It's an ongoing process. It's like building your freelance career.
So we've explored all these different ways to find clients. But landing those first few gigs, that's really just the beginning. How do you make sure those clients turn into repeat customers? How do you keep your business thriving?
Well, that's where communication and relationship building come in. Be responsive, communicate clearly, and always try to exceed expectations. That's how you build trust. That's how you build those lasting relationships.
It's like any other business relationship, right? You want to build that rapport, understand their needs, and go above and beyond.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask for feedback. Regular check-ins, open communication, that's how you stay aligned with their goals to make sure they're happy. And happy clients, well, they're more likely to come back for more and recommend you to others.
It's all about building that reputation for reliability, for expertise, for great customer service. And with that foundation, you can really create a freelance career that's both rewarding and fulfilling.
Absolutely. It's a journey. It takes effort, persistence, and a willingness to learn and adapt. But with the right mindset, the right approach, the possibilities are endless.
This deep dive has been really eye-opening. We started by, debunking those get-rich-quick schemes. Then we explored this whole universe of freelance opportunities. And finally, we uncovered all these practical strategies for building a successful online career.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey. But the most important takeaway here is success in freelancing is achievable for anyone. It's about finding your strengths, honing those skills, being proactive, and always keeping an open mind, always learning.
So go out there, explore those possibilities, and make those freelance dreams a reality. Remember, you have the power to create a fulfilling and rewarding career on your own terms.
And remember, you're not alone on this journey. There's a whole community of freelancers out there ready to support you, to inspire you.
Until next time, keep diving deep, keep pushing those boundaries, and keep those freelance dreams alive.